Welcome back to my channel. This is Kingdom Muju from KD Concept Researchers. Please kindly like and subscribe to our channel so that you can always get our videos while it drops. Of persons now, others are still coming up. So quickly today we are going to be looking at 3 basic operations in Microsoft Excel. The first to look at is the pivot tables and pivot charts. Okay, now when we have a large size of data entered in a spreadsheet in Excel, sometimes we may want to do a quick analysis on that set of data. That is where pivot table and charts comes in. Now, let's take a look at what exactly PivotTable is. So PivotTable is a feature of Microsoft Excel that allows you to summarize and analyze large amounts of data quickly and efficiently. Now, simply put that, it is used to summarize, analyze, explore, and present data. Of course, where we have tables, we also have the chart. So pivot chart complements pivot tables by adding visualization to the summary data in pivot table and allows one to easily see comparisons, pattern, and trend from the pivot table. So basically, the question comes now: how do we work with pivot table? I have a file here already arranged. This is like another set of data here. We have other dates, different days in 2019, of course, in different months. Then we also have regions. So this represents different regions. Then on the reps, we have names of reps which attended to, which was working on these particular days. Now we have the items here. These are stationaries also. We have their unit price, cost price, and total price. Now, the total price has been computed already. We already know how to do the total price, which is units multiplied by unit costs. So that will give you the total price. We already know how to do that one. Now, the idea now is how do we put this up in the pivot table? So pay close attention while I demonstrate that now. Now, to work on the pivot table, we have to go through the insert menu. On the insert menu, on the top left corner, you see this function called pivot table. That's what we'll be using. However, for you to do that, you must make sure you click at least in one of the cells within the data you want to work on before going to pivot table. Now you see from table range, click on from table range. Now you see that the entire data has been selected. Immediately I clicked on from table range, and then we'll have a range here. Pay attention to this dialog box. Now this dialog box is asking you, do you want the pivot table to be on a new sheet or an existing sheet? Let me go back to that again. There's something I need to point out there. Okay, from the pivot table, you can see this other option here called recommended pivot table. If you click on the recommended pivot table, Excel has the ability to automatically arrange your data into a pivot table, which you can choose one option. So this is basically like pivot table templates based on your information. But that is not what we are using today. We are going to prepare our own pivot table. So I will come to pivot table, then from table range. All right, everything is all set, and I want this pivot table to be on a new worksheet. So I will click OK. All right, now this section now gives us the pivot table. Let's now see how we can work on this pivot table. If you look on the right side, you see this tab here called PivotTable Field. Now, it is from here that you can actually format our pivot table. For instance, we have drag and drop. We have both row and column. So you have to decide which category of data stays in the row and which one stays in the column. Like I may want to click and drag my rep into my column. Now, if you observe here, I see that the data has been organized according to the reps. Then I may want to also add my items or units. Yes. Immediately I click on unit now, you see what this table has done. It has been able to look at all sales personnel and the total sum of sale of units which they were able to make. Now I can also click on total and it gives me the total sum that each salesperson has made over this period of time. Now, there are further information that can be added to this analysis. As you can see, Excel has automatically computed the sums for each unit, and also it's giving you the grand total here, all from this pivot table. Maybe I want to see the arrangement based on region. I just need to click on region. Now, it has been able to split this table into various salespersons according to the region. I want to remove that. Also, you can add some items on the column side by clicking and dropping it on the column. Now, I drop item on the column, as you can see. Now, we have different sales agents, and then we have the items which they have sold on the column. Now, if I wish to move out anything from the pivot table, just click it and drag out, and that disappears from the pivot table. So I can also decide to add my unit costs, and everything you're adding to the pivot table, Excel will automatically give you the total calculations for it. Okay. If you also need to include your order dates, whatever you click, it is going to be reflected in the pivot table also. Okay, fine. Everything looks good now. You can arrange this quarterly or yearly. Like you can see, this is 2019, and down here now we have the data for 2020. So basically, this is how to organize item in pivot table. Once you click on the pivot table, the arrangement comes back on again. Now we can arrange this according to region. Now, the good thing about this pivot table also is if you want to do further analysis on your pivot table, if you look down here, you see the fourth layer update. Now, notice that for each new thing I click here, notice that for each new thing you click, the pivot table is changing. However, if I tick this default layer updates, if I apply a new command, I will need to click on updates for it to reflect on the pivot table. And I prefer that option so that everything will be happening automatically. You should be able to apply a command to see it. Now, let's see how we can visualize what we have on this pivot table. We have the rows showing different sales agents and which is, and then we have the sum of units, sum of unit cost, and then we have the sum of costs all analyzed, and down here we have the grand total. Just like we can apply visualization to data, also the pivot table can be represented in charts. How do we do that? Simply, you have to go to insert. Then on the insert, you can see here we have pivot charts. That is the kind of chart which is applicable to pivot table. So I'm going to click on the insert and select pivot charts. Allow it to load. Now, Excel will automatically make some suggestions based on the information you have. But let me say I just want to use bars. I can select a bar, just the first bar here, and OK. Now Excel will automatically generates a chart for that pivot table. Now, if the information are reduced, it is also going to be reflected on the charts. Yes, for any information you add, it is going to be reflected on the charts. That's one good thing about pivot charts. Any command done to it will definitely reflect on the charts. So this way now, you see, we've been able to arrange this data here, the data that is originally here, been able to analyze it into this pivot table where it has been able to compute some of unit costs, some of total, and some of units. And of course, it has been able to give us grand total. So the total sum of money to be spent on acquiring the items is 1,967.27.88 dollars. I need to add the items. Let me add the items. Yes, I will add the items to, let me see, so that's this. Okay, the item should stay, hold on. The item should stay on the column axis. Let's see how the format looks. Beautiful. Now, you can see for each command you do on the pivot table, it changes the outcome. Now, this way now, we are seeing all items that we have purchased and the sums obtained. So basically, that is just about it on how to arrange data in pivot table. Very quickly, I'm going to go over it again. This is the data we want to organize in pivot table. Now we need to go to Insert. Now we select Pivot Table. Then we say From Table Range. Now automatically Excel will select the entire data range and you OK. Then it brings you to this page. You can now start by pulling items into your rows and columns. Like I may want to put items in my column arrangement. Now I have all the items. And maybe I put the reps also on the column arrangement. Now we have for each item the sales personnel which handled each particular item. Then I can go ahead now and add my total units on my column. Sorry. All I need to do is just to click on the total. Now you see for each item, the salesperson and also the total cost. Good. If I also wish to add the years, I just click on year. Excel will simply split it into years. Then let's say we just wanted to get the items and their total costs. And then once we apply charts to this, we still go back to the Insert menu, then click on Pivot Charts. And you see Pivot Chart here. Now, that did not work because my cursor is not selected on a cell within the pivot table. So I'll click on the pivot table and then go back to Insert Pivot Charts. Automatically, there are different options here given to me. I can just choose that first one and OK. So this by default now gives you the names of sales rep and the total amounts they have made over the period of time. And also you see it break down into different items like binder, desk, pen, and others. So basically this is how to work with pivot table. Now, every other data we've worked with can also be reorganized and analyzed using this simple concepts of pivot table. As you can see that the analysis is quite awesome. It has been able to separate this into different items. Now you can deactivate or that is minimize or maximize a particular item. You can minimize all items. This is how it's going to look like. Maybe you just want to concentrate on a particular item. All you need to do is minimize. Now you see the way it is. So if I want to see everybody who sold desk, I just click on desk. Now only Mike and Todd sold desk, and this was the total amount made from it. So that is just basically about it with pivot tables. Okay. I'm going to try to slow it down a little. I'm just looking at this text now. I believe by the time I went back to it, do you understand what I am doing now with the pivot table? Please, I'll need your comments on that now. I didn't read this text on time, so sorry. I was just concentrating on the class here. So is it okay now with the pivot table and how to go about it? I need your comments. Remember that the data used in this class will also be made available so that you can also practice with the same data. However, some other data we have used over time, you can also try your hands with them and pivot table. Basically, on the pivot table, whatsoever command you click, whatsoever you click like region is reflected on the table. Once you click on it, it reflects on the table. So it's just to play around it, depending on the particular way you want to analyze it. Is it by region, or is it by other dates, or is it by unit cost? Any way you just want to analyze the data, you can always select that. And remember, if you to create your column, you move them into column, and to get your row, maybe I can move my region into row. And now this is what we get. We have the east and you have the west. Of course, we have the central. Then remember, I minimize these items. If I maximize them, this is now what we are having. A very fine analysis here that shows both particular item and also the sales personnel that you are involved in, of course, in these items, and of course the regional representation and the grand total. So far, this is been a very fine organization of this data using a pivot table. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. You can also check out some other videos that are prerequisite to this one on our course series in data analysis using Microsoft Excel. Please kindly leave your questions in the comment section and we'll attend to them. Also remember to like, share, comment, and most especially, please kindly subscribe to this channel so that we can always serve you better. Thank you.